Hello everyone, and welcome to a review of how to graph quadratic inequalities. So I've written some steps. You start out by graphing the parabola like normal. Then you decide on a line style, meaning is it dotted or is it a solid line? And then you decide on where to shade. And those are pretty usual steps when you're graphing any inequality. So today we're focusing on quadratics. Now I've been asked to graph this quadratic, and you can just pick x values and put them in and get y values, but I like to find the axis of symmetry, the vertex, and the y-intercept. So the axis of symmetry formula is negative b over 2a. The b value here is negative 4, so I'm going to change that to positive 4 over 2 times negative 2. Because the a value is negative 2, because remember it's ax squared plus bx plus c for a quadratic. Okay, so the axis of symmetry is x equals negative 1. And what I like to do is right at negative 1, I'm going to put a dotted line on my graph to represent our axis of symmetry. Now that's not actually part of your quadratic graph, but it does give me something to reflect across when I get points. Now my vertex, the x value is going to be this negative 1. To get the y value, I take negative 1 and put it into this quadratic. Negative 2 times negative 1 squared, which is 1, minus 4 times negative 1 is positive 4. And plus 6. So this comes out to be 8. So I have the point negative 1, 8. So I'm going to put that, here's negative 1, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is my vertex of my parabola. Apparently I made this a little short. Now notice my parabola is a downward facing parabola, so it's going to come down from here, and I can tell that because the a value is negative. And my y-intercept is just the c value. So the y-intercept is 6, which is here. And I can reflect that across my axis. Now I just need a few more points. I usually try for 5 points on a parabola. So I think a value that's easy to put in might be 1. So I'm going to take 1 and put it in. So I have negative 2 times 1, which is negative 2. Negative 4 times 1, which is negative 4. And plus 6. If I combine all of this, I get 0. So I have the point 1, 0. And I can reflect it across, and now I have 5 points for my parabola. So you can get more points if you want. I say the minimum is 5 because it gives you the nice shape of the parabola. You can kind of see stretches and compressions happening. So that's why I do the 5. So now we have to decide on a line style. This is just a less than symbol. There's no equal to symbol, which means that I need a dotted line. If it had an or equal to symbol there, I would do a solid line. So just a dotted line connecting my points. There we go. And now I need to decide on shading. And the way I decide on shading, I start at the vertex, and then I check to see what it says. It says y is less than this. So less than means go down from the vertex. And you might end up inside the parabola. You might end up outside the parabola. Okay, so this is my shaded portion right there. Now let me show you what would happen if this was a greater than symbol. Okay, you'd graph it as normal. But now, if I graph greater than this, I'd start at my vertex. Y is greater than that, so I go above the vertex, which means I'm shading all around the outside of my parabola because it's greater than. So everything around the outside, and I'm not shading too far because, well, my other writing is there. If it was an or equal to symbol, I'd use a solid line through here. Okay. So that's how the graphing of an inequality works.